Good day, everyone. This is Richard again for another edition of Learning with Rich. So, for today's lesson, I'm going to teach you how to create and modify a floor slab. Okay, so let's get started. Currently, I'm on the garage floor. So, what I'm going to do is, in order for me to see the layout of my ground floor, there is this tool in Revit that you can find on the properties window that is called underlay. Okay, so currently the underlay here is set to none. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the drop down arrow and then look for the ground floor. Okay, so this is the layout that I want to see on my garage floor. There you go. So this is now your garage, your ground floor layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock this. Okay, I'm going to lock so my ground floor because there are instances that you are accidentally moving or editing or modifying the underlay. So if you are worried about that, you can go to the select panel here and then you can uncheck here, select underlay elements. Okay, so by doing that, it will, according to the definition, it avoid accidentally selecting underlay elements in the view. Alright, so I'm going to uncheck this and then you see this is what will happen. You see, I'm not able to select it anymore. So in case you don't want to move it accidentally or modify, just uncheck it from here. Okay, just uncheck, select underlay elements. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a structural element. Okay, so I'm going to select structure here and then I'm going to select floor. Okay, so floor is structural. I select that and then from my type selector I'm going to make sure that concrete 300 mm is selected, this one. Okay, and then after that I'm going to position my cursor over the foundation wall to highlight it. So this is the foundation wall and I'm not going to pick yet, so I'm just going to move it first to the foundation wall and then I'm going to press tab. Okay, then after that I'm going to click to select the exterior walls. So I click that, boom. Okay, so that's now my sketch. Again, the rule of creating the sketch is make sure the sketch is close, no intersection, no overlapping. Okay, and then after that, I'm now going to select check to finish creating my floor boundary. Okay, so remember not to select any tabs here while you are on the create floor boundary tab. Okay, because if you select, for example, the architecture, for starters, for newbies in Revit, you will just get confused. Okay, because all of the tools here are disabled. Okay, why? Because you still have a contextual tab that is active, or you still have a tool that is active, which is your floor tool. Okay, so just make sure you finish that first. Okay, for this one, no need for you to load the span direction symbol. So I just select no. There you go. So this is now the slab. So what I'm going to do now is, since I'm not going to use anymore the layout of my ground floor, I'll just go back again to my properties and then select none from here. Okay, so this is now my slab, my floor. Okay, so if I go to the 3D view, it looks like this. This is actually the one that I created, right? So after that, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create another structural element. So this time, I'm going to use slab edge. Okay, you see there's a space here, so I'm going to put the slab edge here. Okay, so going back to my garage floor. Okay, so I'm going to select again the structure tab and then I'm going to click the slab drop down arrow and then there's the slab edge. Okay, so it shapes the horizontal edge of a floor slab. So I select this. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to position again my cursor over the edge of the floor that I just created. And then I press tab to highlight all the 4 edges of the floor. So once it highlights, I'm going to click to create the slab edge. So there's a warning here. So the warning says that one element is completely inside another. So meaning my slab and my slab edge are on the same position. So they are overlapping each other. Okay, so I'll just select OK. I'll just select OK. And then after that, I'm going to select the slab edge that I created. I can also press the tab to cycle the selection. So as you can see, as I press the tab, it cycles the selection from the floor and then from the floor to the slab edge. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that slab edge is selected. So I click that. And then from the properties here, so you can change the constraint, like for example, the vertical profile offset. Because if I'm going to change this to 3D, you will notice that my slab edge, which is this one, and then my floor is on the same location. So they are overlapping. So what I'm going to do is, okay, I'm just going to do it here in the 3D view. I select the slab edge, and then I change the vertical profile offset. Okay, so let's say I'm going to type here minus 300 so that the slab edge will go down. Okay, there you go. So there's now my slab edge. So it's looked like this. So there's my slab edge, and then this is the floor that I just created, the slab. Okay, so if I'm going to open here the section, okay, so you will see now the slab edge that I created, as well as the slab, the concrete slab. Okay, next. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you how to split the surface and add lowered points, for example, for drain location. Okay, so that is what I'm going to show you. I'm going to split the surface and then I'm going to add lowered points for drain location. Okay, so let's do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select again the floor slab that I just created. And then you will see here from the Modify Floors Contextual tab, so there is this Shape Editing panel. So I'm going to select here Add Split Line. So this is the tool that I'm going to use to split my slab. So I select this. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to click at the midpoint, going to the opposite midpoint to create the split. There you go. Right, and after that, to add points, so I'm going to select here add point. So adds reshaping points to selected roof or floor geometry. So you can also use this on your roof. So aside from the floor, okay, so I select add point. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to place a point here and below. So the exact location of points is not critical in this exercise. So I just click somewhere here. There you go. And then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to escape once. Okay? I'm not going to escape twice, or I'm not going to select modify, because if I do that, it will terminate the tool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to press escape once. Alright? And then you will notice after I press escape once, notice my pointer becomes like this. So from here, I am now able to select points. Because let's say, for example, this point, I want to lower this 50 mm. Okay, so I'm going to click that. And then there you go. I can click this to change the value. Okay, optionally, you can also change from here. Okay, so let's say, for example, I'm going to key in here minus 50. And then enter. There you go. So I'm not going to terminate yet. I'm going to click the other point. So I click that, and then I select that one to change the elevation. So let's say minus 50 also. Then enter. Okay, there you go. So for example, that is now the drain points. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to terminate now the tool by selecting modify. Okay. Then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an opening. Okay, so I'm going to create an opening. Let's say, for example, this is for the an access ladder to the crawl space below the floor. Okay, again, the exact location of the opening for this one is not that critical. Okay, I'm going to show you how to create an opening. So to do that, okay, so from the structure tab or even on the architecture tab, there's this panel, opening panel, and then you will see here opening, this one, so vertical opening. Okay, so I'm going to select vertical opening, and then let's say, for example, from here I'm going to create, okay, after you select the vertical opening, you need to select next the floor where you want to create the opening. So I select the floor. There you go. And then after that, from the draw panel, so you can see you have here modify, create, opening, boundary, contextual tab. So from the draw panel, so I'm going to select the rectangle here. So let's say, for example, the size of the opening that I'm going to create is 2000 by 2000 mm. So I select rectangle, and then after that, I create from here. Okay, so I create 2000 by 2000. There you go. Alright, so I'm going to select this 2000, enter, and then I change this also 2000, enter. There you go. And after that, I select modify. Okay, now I'm going to finish it to create the opening. Alright, so there's the opening. So if I go to the 3D view, so this is how it looks like. Okay, so there's your split, and then there's the drain points, and then after that, there's your opening. Okay, optionally, you can also select the opening separately, and then you can drag that. For example, you want to put it here, so you can also create an opening from there. Okay, so that's how you modify, that's how you create and modify a floor slab. Yep. Hopefully you learned something from this video, and hope to see you guys again. That's it. That's the exercise. And until next time, take care and bye-bye.